Hi, welcome to Tech Time. Today, we are looking at how to take care of that spam in your email. So if you're like me, you get a lot of messages that maybe you don't necessarily want, need, maybe you signed up for thinking, this might be helpful sometime, but it actually turned out not to be. So today, we're going to look at how to clean up that inbox clutter, organize, and get rid of all that horrible spam. All this and more today on Tech Time.
So here we are at our email inbox. I'm using a Gmail account to go over our lesson for today. Now, spam email is something that affects all of us. How do we get this spam email? Where does it come from? Well, looking at a different inbox here, you can see this inbox is pretty full. Look at all the different messages here. This happens when you sign up for things. Sometimes you mean to, sometimes you don't mean to. There's all sorts of reasons why you might end up with email from places that you're not quite sure. Of course, anytime you sign up for a new service, such as streaming, when you go to social media, create a new account at some place, you're going to get emails from that entity. But sometimes you just end up getting random emails from places that you don't even expect. So here's one from Lenovo. Not quite sure how we ended up getting emails from Lenovo. But as you can see, it is pretty much just the equivalent of junk mail. So when you go to a website, one of the easiest ways to help prevent spam email is when you are signing up for the website, typically they give you an option to opt out of any kind of email or newsletters or whatever it is that they might be putting out. So it's a good idea to make sure to not opt in unless you absolutely really want to receive mail from them. There's never a requirement that says in order to register for this site, you have to receive their mailer. If there is, you might want to choose a different site. Now, one of the things that will happen when you do accidentally or purposefully and then regret it later, sign up for emails from a site, you will find that they typically come with this button. It's called unsubscribe. And we'll see it down here as well at the bottom. Here it is, unsubscribe. Sometimes you have to look for it. It can be hidden, kind of mixed in with the regular stuff. Again, it's because they want you to receive this information. It makes their numbers look good, and sometimes people will actually purchase or do something that benefits them from these. So that's why they do it. But if you're in a position where you're saying I'm getting 100 messages a day and I don't need that many, the best thing to do would be unsubscribe. So I'm going to click the unsubscribe button, and it's going to give me a confirmation, and it's just that easy. Now, sometimes it will take you to the website that it came from, and then you can unsubscribe there at the website. In this case, this unsubscribe is taking this and moving it into our spam folder, which is our next big tip for dealing with spam on email. Make good use of the spam folder. So on the left-hand side in our menus, one of those options is spam. And when you click on it, it will take you into the spam inbox where all kinds of crazy stuff will tend to appear. Again, it depends on how active you are in your email. The more active you are, the more likely you are to have spam. Email providers such as Google are pretty good about identifying spam messages and keeping them out of your regular inbox. They'll end up here in this special box, but not always. And sometimes you will find something that made it into your inbox and you just look at it and say, yeah, I don't need that. I'm going to send that to my spam box. It also works the other way. You might find something in your spam box that really doesn't belong there, and so you can transfer that into your inbox. But today we're focusing on eliminating spam. So in your spam box, you do get some nice options. The purpose of the spam folder is to filter the junk into this area. And I don't have any messages here, so I can't really fiddle with it too much. But in the options, you do get to decide things like how long messages stay in this folder. Do you want it to delete immediately? Do you want it to sit a while before it deletes? Right now, this is set up so that after 30 days, if something has been in here, it will automatically be deleted. No action taken by me, which is good because then I don't have to worry about it. It just goes straight to spam and I never see it and I never think about it, and my life's a lot happier. Back to my inbox. Again, you can see got a mess here. Definitely some things that I should probably work through. So here's another thing I'm not familiar with. I don't know what later is or where it came from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the unsubscribe down here this time. Now, you saw earlier when I clicked up here on unsubscribe, it sent this to my junk mail. This time when I click here, and I just want you to see the difference. So this is taking me now to the website later, asking me if I for sure want to unsubscribe. And I'm going to, yes, unsubscribe. And then that's it. Sometimes it's super easy like that. Sometimes you have to jump through a few hoops before it works out. But either way, it does unsubscribe you from receiving the mail. So here's the difference. This sends it to junk mail so you don't have to think about it. This actually takes you to the website to have them stop sending the mail in the first place. It's up to you what you feel better about doing, but both options will work for you. Another thing that we can do to help fight spam is create folders. So we're going to head back to the inbox here. Now, there are some things in this mail that I might find useful or helpful. So, for example, TicketLeap is something that we are using here at the library. And so maybe instead of just having this take space in my inbox, instead I'm going to create its own folder for it here on the left-hand side. So I'm going to click on More, scroll down a little bit. So these are called labels, and when I want to add a new label, I just click here to create a new label. This will allow me to filter mail into these labels so that they go straight there, and then again, they don't cloud up my inbox. So since this is for TicketLeap, I'm going to name the label TicketLeap. If I want to create a folder within a folder, I can do that. So I can have subfolders. I don't need subfolders for this, so I'm just going to create my TicketLeap label. And now it's right here, part of my set of things where I can move my mail to. Now, I have the email open on my screen. This is the TicketLeap email. So what I'm going to do is click here where it says Move To. It has a little folder with an arrow in it. When I click on that, I can choose where I want to move it to. In this case, I created the spot just for it called TicketLeap. So I'm going to send it there, and that's where it goes. Now when I click on the folder here, I can see, there it is, TicketLeap. Now by right-clicking on this, I can also look for other emails from TicketLeap. So if I have multiple ones, which I know I do, then I can have it search for all of those, and I can send all of those here. So here's all the emails from TicketLeap. Trying to click the whole thing here. Here we go. So all of these are now selected. Here are my options again, what I can do with them. Now, one of the options says filter messages like these. So I can click on that. Anything from TicketLeap. Gives me other options so I can decide, does it have to be specific or can it be general? Like this one's general. Okay, and then I can tell it where I want it to go. So this is giving me, do I want to just archive it? Do I want to star it, forward, delete, mark as important, never mark this as important, categorize it. So I can take messages that I commonly get, filter them to someplace else where it needs to go, and then not have to worry about it. Okay, these I'm just going to move. Okay, it says it's in TicketLeap, so that's where I want it to be. And there we go. Again, fighting spam takes time. It's not something that you can just sit and do in a couple of minutes. It takes time going through your inbox to find things, move them, and shift them to where you want them to be instead. Or it takes time when you're out on websites asking yourself, do I really, really, really want to have this website send me messages? Is it necessary? And again, watch out when you are at websites. Sometimes, without knowing it, you might click on something that says, yes, send me your newsletter. And then you're receiving the newsletter and then you're wondering, how did I end up doing that? So just be careful, be wary, and that is going to be the easiest way to help clear your inbox of spam and organize it using the labels. Now, every email provider has something like that. It might be called something different, but there is a way to create these folders here on the left-hand side and move information from the inbox into those folders so that not only are they out of the way, but they are also organized. Of course, the other thing you can do is just start deleting messages. So when you find something that isn't important, you can just click on it and click on the trash can. You can do that for as many as you need to, but the idea is you want to keep the number here small. So I have 332 messages in this inbox. Over here, I have what you see, 3 messages. So big difference between the two. This one is not clean. This one is very much clean. Okay, I'm going to tell you about one more thing. When you get messages that you're not familiar with, you want to be careful because sometimes those messages can have viruses or they can be phishing. Phishing is a way for people to send out a message, hope that you click on it, open it, read something, and then click on something in the message where they'll take you to a site and pretty much try to take your information or hack your machine, or all sorts of other bad things can happen. So really, it's a good idea not to allow so many things to come into your inbox in the first place unless it's really necessary. And then when you do, be careful about what you go through. Always, check to see, is it a trusted source? Am I opening this for a good reason? Okay, here's a message that says YouTube creators. Looks like it's from YouTube, so always check to see where the reply is or where it's coming from. That will help you determine if this is spam or legit. This is legit. But something spammy, and I don't have anything spammy to really show you right now, but it always comes from something weird. It doesn't look right. You get a message from YouTube, it should say it's coming from YouTube, and the reply back to YouTube. You get a message from, Google, and it says, reply to stealyourinfo.com. Okay, there's a problem. Now, it won't be that obvious, but again, being able to look at these things, use a little common sense, use a little discretion, trust that gut feeling, and help keep your inbox protected from all of the bad things out on the internet. So that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening. Please make sure to check out all of our other Tech Time videos. We have a wonderful catalog of how-to videos, so check them all out, leave us some comments, and check back next week for another episode of Tech Time.